Hi, hello, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time. Honestly, I feel like I abandoned this page. And not honestly, yeah, I did. I don't even know how to start this. Like, how do I introduce myself? It's been so long. Funny enough, I logged in and YouTube had told me celebrating 12 years on YouTube, and I was like, wow, how many of those years have I just been ghost, like disappeared into the abyss? I want to say it's like 3 or 4 years. I don't know, it's been a very chaotic journey. And I know with other apps popping up, TikTok, Instagram, like I shifted my focus to those things. But I really do enjoy these long form chit chatty type of videos. I just feel like YouTube has this a certain type of authenticity that you can't get on other apps. Let's dive in. So bringing you guys up to speed, around the time that I fell off, I was graduating nursing school. I passed my boards. I'm a registered nurse. In May, I will be celebrating 5 years as a nurse, which is crazy to me. I'm an ICU nurse, medical ICU currently. I started in neuro ICU, then I did COVID crisis contracts, settled in medical ICU. I did a few critical care float pool contracts, but NICU is where I'm at. I'm currently in New York City. Not currently, I'm back home in Atlanta right now, but I live in New York City. I've been there for 3 years, which is crazy to say because when I was in nursing school and I was getting ready to graduate, I wanted to be in New York, but I was in a relationship that I had no business being in, and that person was like, just stay in Atlanta, just stay in Atlanta. And I listened and I didn't go to New York, which I guess in hindsight, like I wouldn't have been in the epicenter of the pandemic. So I don't know, maybe, who knows? Like, I think the pandemic would have happened anyway, but it would have been interesting to see how that would have panned out. Would I still be in New York currently? I don't know. I did quite a few travel nursing contracts. I was in Grand Junction, Colorado. I did 2 Bay Area contracts. I was in the Bay Area for like 8, almost 9 months. I took 3 months off. I was traveling. I went to Belize. I went to Ojai, California. I went to Hawaii. I was just, all I wanted to do was read and be on a beach. Came back home, went to Baltimore, did a 1-month contract, and then I ended up in New York. I did 2 contracts in New York, and then I went staff where I currently am. Adding on to the nursing bit, I have passed my CCRN. I'm currently studying for another certification. So fingers crossed in like 2 weeks to a month's time, I have another certification behind my name. I have more alphabet soup. I don't own any pets. I'm nobody's mother. I always wear jewelry on both ring fingers, but I'm not married. The dating scene, I don't know. I've deleted all the apps, so I'm keeping to myself for the most part. I'm like, I think this is not for me. I'm still trying to find my friend group in New York City. I think it's really hard as an adult to find adult relationships, adult friendships. I think for me, the common theme has been there are people from undergrad that we were, you know, very casual acquaintances, and now I'm finding them in New York and we're becoming a lot closer. I feel like I'm wearing too much blush. I love blush, but now I'm seeing it under bright lights. I'm like, ooh, girl, that's a lot of blush. In terms of career, I feel like I'm reaching that threshold with being a bedside nurse. I actually had one of my favorite work colleagues. She recently retired, and I was like, wow, to make it to 4 decades of nursing is, gone are those days. People, especially post-pandemic, people don't stay in bedside nursing that long, and I've recently started to have back pain associated with bedside nursing. It's just very physically and mentally demanding. And I remember I told one of my friends when we graduated, I was like, listen, in 3 to 5 years, we need to have a come to Jesus moment, like what's next? And funny enough, I've convinced all of my friends to go to grad school. I was like, let's go to grad school so we can all be in school together. And they're all about to graduate. And then I still am like, oh, I'm just chugging along. Which is really bad because I'm like, dang, when I do go to school, everybody's gonna be done with school and I'm just gonna have to endure this by myself. Kind of like segueing into the next thing, do I see myself staying in New York or do I see myself coming back to Atlanta? It's all related because I feel like I kind of regret not taking any contracts in Texas. I said I always wanted to either take a contract in Dallas or Houston or both. I know that there's a very large Nigerian population. If you guys don't know, I'm Nigerian, I'm Igbo, and I feel like I don't know, for whatever reason, I feel like I would love Texas. I feel like the houses are very big. It's very comparable to Georgia. You get a lot of money, get a lot of bang for your buck in terms of you can buy a house for relatively cheap and it's a very big house and you can have a good sized yard. Growing up, we never really went to a lot of Igbo events, so I missed out on making a lot of Nigerian friends when I was younger, so I heavily relied on college and even now going to Umu Igbo Unite events, trying to find other Igbo people. And I joke, I was like, oh, if I have a traditional wedding, I'm not gonna have any Nigerian bridesmaids because I just didn't make too many friends growing up that happened to be Nigerian / Igbo or any other tribe. But I mentioned this because I'm at the point where I'm like, do I want to stay in New York? New York is very, very expensive, and I feel like unless you are in a double income household, it's not, I don't know, people do it. People make a lot of money, they make it work. But I also realize living in New York, there are a lot of people who come from generational wealth. There are a lot of people who straight out of school, they knew what they were gonna do career-wise, and they've been making good money since they were 21, 22. Whereas for me, I didn't start really making good money until I was 27, about to turn 28. So this is still like, I've only been doing this for 4 years. So I'm really like, I'm playing catch up at this point. Whereas these people have 5 to 6 years on me of earning solid income. And I just feel like you don't get too much space. I mean, even in this filming space right now, like my whole New York City apartment, I would say my kitchen and my living room, bathroom, and closet can fit in this whole room. This is a very big room. I just feel like for the amount of money that you pay, like, yeah, you live in New York City, but I born and raised in Atlanta. All my family is here, so like this is comfort zone. And the whole purpose of me leaving to go travel nurse, but also living in New York, was to find myself and make sure that I'm not one of those people who wakes up one day in my 40s and is like, oh my goodness, I've only lived in Georgia my whole life. I'm missing out on something. I should have gone and done this when I had the chance. I don't want to have any kind of midlife crisis. So I'm really wrestling with, do I want to stay in New York? Do I want to possibly buy something in New York? Which is always a good option because even if you don't stay, you can rent it out. Or do I want to come back to Georgia and buy something and be here forever? Do I want to test out the waters and go live in Dallas? I think one thing I've learned from, not just Dallas or Houston. I feel like I would lean more towards Houston, but it's also hard because the people who live there, some people love it, but other people are like, don't move here, you know, there's nothing here and it's already too crowded. But we say that about Atlanta. So I'm just wrestling with, where is my forever home and where will I be? And it's also hard because culturally, a lot of people are like, wait for your husband to make these decisions. And I joked on TikTok in a recent video and said, why would I be waiting for a hypothetical person, an imaginary person, to make lasting, lifelong decisions? If anything, if I buy a house and I meet my husband the day after I buy the house, we can decide if it's going to be an investment property or if we're going to sell it or if that's where we're going to live as our, you know, starter home, whatever it is. But I just don't want to be stagnant and waiting for a person who may or may not ever materialize. I'm already looking at the time. This is a very long introductory video, but I'm trying to like address a few things that definitely could branch off and be shorter videos that are more detailed. But it's been so long, like I have not talked to you guys in a long period of time, so I'm like, there's so much to catch you guys up on. I feel like this is a pretty decent length introductory video. Everything else, they can be shorter chit chats, but it is so good to be back and to record videos. I don't know, it's like a little anxious, like first day of school anxiety, just wondering like how do I approach this? How do I talk to these people, you know? And then also like knowing like you haven't posted on your profile in so long, will your audience even like vibe with you? Like it's been so many years, like are we even still friends? Do we even still like the same things? Like, you know, it's weird. And then again, like the metrics aspect of it, like your views and your engagement is not going to be what it was because the channel has been collecting cobwebs. But I'm confident that like we'll find our stride, we'll get back to it, you know. I don't know, it's this, I said I've celebrated 12 years on this channel, like we've grown up together. I'm 31, I'm gonna be 32 in June. So if it's 12 years, I made this my sophomore year of college, which is crazy. So yeah, I've been making content on here since I was 20, which is really, really crazy. Really crazy to think, like going back and looking at my archive videos and like seeing what I looked like back then and how I've grown up, and knowing like when I filmed this video what I was going through or what I was dealing with. It's just, I like this digital diary and this digital archive to go back and be able to look and see how far I've come. So yeah, I guess this is like my welcome back to myself, but cheers to being more consistent, filming more videos. I'm really, really excited. Yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I don't even know how to do an outro again. I'm gonna brush up on how to do my intro and outro so this flows a lot better. But oh my goodness, I've been yapping for so long and it's gonna be a pain to edit this, or it's just gonna be a really long video. Who knows? It's been too long. That's why I need to do this more consistently, because I used to have it down to like 5 to 8 minute videos, but we're gonna find our swing. We're gonna find our stride, okay? As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to connect with me, I'll make sure I put my links to other platforms down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.